Hi everyone, welcome back to my Flosstube. My name is Rachel, this is Lemonade Stitching, and today is my March 2026 wrap up. I am so excited to be back with you guys today to tell you all about the cross stitch that I've been getting up to in the last month. Today's also Easter, so happy Easter to everyone who celebrates. And if you don't celebrate, I hope you're just having a great day whenever you are watching this. I am super excited to show you guys the progress that I have today. I have 2 finishes and then I think 4 other whips and starts to show you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump on in. So the first finish I have to share with you guys today is Woolemina by Plum Street Samplers. I started this back in February for a little Valentine's Day stitch. And this is how my project turned out. I'm really happy with it. It looks super cute. I did, of course, change the colors like I normally do. I stitched it on a 40 count piece of Silver Mist, 1/2. And I pulled colors that just reminded me more of the cover photo and felt more like fun and vibrant than when I pulled the called for. So I ended up just picking 3 pinks that I felt went together. So I have Classic Colorworks Rosy Glow, Weeks Dye Works Peony, and Gentle Arts Rhubarb. And then I pulled, let's see, Gentle Arts Mountain Mist and a Color and Cotton Winter Flannel for my 2 greens. I don't know if you can really see those. And then I just used a couple DMCs as like 2 dark gray colors. And then I ended up using Whisper for my actual sheep in the center. So that is how the sheep came out. I'm not sure if you can tell that it's Whisper on camera. This was my first time using Whisper, and I did this, I think just 1/2 full cross, like as the Whisper comes off the cards. And yeah, if you haven't used Whisper before, this is how it comes off of the card. And I used 2 colors. I used W89, which is like a creamish white, and then W113, which is a tan. And how I did this was I basically, I'll try and get like a close-up of the sheep, but I basically just went and did like random spots of the tan thread, like just the first leg of the cross. And then I went over the whole thing in the cream. And so where I had put the half legs of tan, I just went over with the top leg in white. So I'll see if I can get like some close up so you can kind of see where that is. I might have to do that after I finish filming so you can get a better idea. But I just felt like that would give the sheep a little more of a natural look, kind of dirty from being outside in the pasture. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I definitely learned that 40 count and full cross of Whisper is not my favorite. This is tight. It was tight to get all this in there. So next time I would probably only do half cross with the Whisper, and I think that would probably work out a little better. Not 100% sure. It was definitely kind of exhausting by the end, and I feel like you don't get as like fluffy of a look as I thought I would, but overall I'm happy, but I definitely learned some things for next time. So yeah, that is how it turned out. Really happy with it. And I'll have the color conversion posted on my Instagram sometime soon, so it'll be all written down if you're curious about it later. My other finish I was not expecting to get done this month, and that is Flowers of Rosehall by Rosewood Manor. This is the cover photo. And I've been working on this one for about a year, and I pulled it out. I'll see if I have a picture of where it was when I pulled it out at the beginning of March. And I just thought I'd get a little bit of progress in on it and kind of just move it along. And I did. I worked on it for a couple of days at the beginning of the month, but then the end of the month rolled around and I had like a week left, and I was like, I just don't know what I want to stitch on. And I ended up pulling this back out and finishing it. So this is what it looks like all complete. Look at that. It looks amazing. I wasn't sure about this. If any of you remember watching last year when I started, I was not sure about it. The colors, I was like, these don't look as nice as I thought they would, because I'm doing it with the called for silks, but it ended up turning out amazing once everything was in there. All those little flowers and bits and bobs. There's definitely a lot of color changes on this, and it was kind of exhausting at times, but overall I'm really happy that I was able to get this one knocked out, and I'm really excited to have this framed and up on the wall because it is just stunning. So that is Flowers of Rosehall by Rosewood Manor. And like I said, I use the called for silk. So I have the Baldaquin silk pack. So these are all the called for colors. And it is on a 40 count winter moon, which is just a plain Zweigart linen, kind of a creamy Zweigart linen. And I don't think I made any changes, at least not on purpose. And well, except for the year and my initial. And yeah, really liked it. There are some other little mini charts in here. I knew there was this like welcome chart, and I wasn't planning on stitching that, but then I was looking at the paper pattern again when I was getting this finished up and doing some back stitch, like checking what color the year should be and stuff. And there's like a little sampler mini in here, so I might stitch that at some point. There's 2 mini samplers that I might stitch at some point. We'll see, because I have lots of silk left, so I definitely could stitch some more, but we will see. And then I'll probably pass this on. One of my friends at my stitch night was like, that's gorgeous, and I was like, well, I'm definitely not going to stitch it again, so I might let her borrow it or have it or whatever, we'll see. But yeah, so those are my 2 March finishes. One was definitely a surprise, was not expecting to finish that, but I'm really, really happy that it is done and I'm ready to enjoy it as a finish. And then let's just get into my whips. So I'll start with one of my goals. I am trying to finish Baldaquin Birdies this year, which is the 2025 Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along. Started it last year, didn't finish it, so my new goal is about 1,000 stitches a month to get it finished by the end of the year. So I wanted to just be under 9,000 stitches to go at the end of March, and I accomplished that goal, and I ended at about 8,900 left. So that is awesome. And here is my progress so far. It's really coming along. I got a huge chunk of this done and got that another bird in, or mostly in. So yeah, it was nice to put some stitches in on this and see it get progress again, because it had been a while since it had significant progress. So I'm excited to continue stitching on this in April. And 1,000 stitches is a really reasonable goal, I think. This is just stitched 1/2 on 40 count flax, another plain, not hand-dyed linen. And I'm using Gentle Arts Witching Hour. Here is the floss. And I learned this month that this is color fast. I know it says color fast, but you know, you never know. One of my skeins went through the wash. So I learned the hard and scary way that it is in fact color fast. It looks exactly the same as all my other skeins that I have in stash. I did have to individually lint roll every single piece of, like every single strand, which was interesting. But thankfully it was just like the end of a skein that had got put in my pocket and never taken out. So it all turned out fine, but I was like, well, this is a new experience that I didn't think I would get to have. So that is Baldaquin Birdies. I'll hold it up again. It's so pretty. This is another one that I'm excited to have up on the wall when it's done. My other goal stitch that I've been working on is The Bride by Lavender and Lace. I'm stitching this with my friend Ashley from Ashley X Stitches. We have the same anniversary, and so she is stitching The Wedding by Lavender and Lace, and we are just cheering each other on with our bridal and wedding themed pieces. So like I said, I'm stitching The Bride, and this is my progress. I'm stitching this 2/2 on a 32 count piece of color and cotton. called Beachcomber Soft. It's a beautiful neutral. I'm switching it with all the called for colors, and I absolutely love how this is coming out. So it's so hard to hold it up close because then I can't see what you can see. But here is an up close view. I did 1/1 for her skin, and this is just absolutely gorgeous. Also, I apologize, the sun keeps coming like in and out of the clouds, so if the color and lighting is changing, that's why. But this is just an absolutely stunning piece, and the fabric is stunning, and I love it. This is another one that I'm trying to finish by the end of the year. My goal is 10% a month. I'm at 34%, so I'm just ahead of my goal, and I'm excited to keep working on this one too. I've been really trying to not work too far ahead on these goal pieces just so that I don't get burnt out, which has been nice because it makes me excited to pull them out again month after month. So that is the bride, and if you want to see Ashley's progress, go check out her channel. She just posted a new floss tube either last weekend or the weekend before. I don't remember because time runs together, but her piece is looking absolutely stunning. So go check out her. She'll be linked down below. And then I have 2 new starts that you guys have not seen yet. So first is going to be Quaker Gardens by Blackbird Designs. This is my March start for my year of blackbirds. I'm doing at least one blackbird, or starting at least one blackbird every month for the whole year, just to kind of work through my stash. I am definitely not limiting to myself to once a month, and I'm not stressing about getting them done in that month. I just want to start at least once a month. So this is my Quaker Garden so far. I'm really happy with it. I had to make a couple color changes. I think I mentioned last time I was using the called for colors, but I ended up switching out the dark green and the light blue for just colors that looked a little bit more like the cover photo and worked better with my fabric. This is a 36 count agave, and I'm stitching this 1/2. So that is the full height, and then it'll span across this piece of green here. But so far I'm really happy with it. Once I got my colors figured out, I did have to restart. Actually, I think I have it in this bag. This was my original start. So as you can see, these are all the called for colors. You can hardly even see that there's blue on that fabric, and then this was the called for green. And so I just switched them out to be a little punchier and just stand out a little more on the fabric. So once I got those colors figured out, then it was smooth sailing, and I'm really, really happy with this and excited to continue working on it. This is such a good spring piece, so it definitely won't be going away just yet. Okay, and my last new start is a start from Nashville. This was the first Nashville purchase that I made this year. I actually purchased it before the PDF even came out. I was like, nope, I'm buying it right away. And I bought the pattern and the floss pack. So that is Coneflower Chorus by the Blue Flower. I saw this and I instantly was like, yep, I'm buying that. I don't know, I just knew I needed it. So I got the pattern and the Baldaquin floss pack, which is a mess. There we go. The green is hiding back here. There we go. So this is the Baldaquin cotton floss. So it's just like a normal strand embroidery floss, not their silk, which if I had read closely, I would have known when I purchased it, but that's okay. Either way, I'm really, really happy with it. The colors are super fun. And I also, when I saw it, I was like, I have the perfect fabric and stash for it. So that kind of was part of the reason I wanted to purchase it right away. And this is my start. So this is a 36 count Blue Ridge fabric by Atomic Ranch. And I have been stitching it 2/2. I thought this piece really deserved that like full color from the floss, and I'm just doing it as called for. I am playing with my stitching path as I do this. So really trying to not get stripy variegation and do more like natural. So you can see all my petals have like the variegation in the floss is going around rather than stripes. I did do that for the bird, but the floss in the bird isn't as starkly variegated, so you can't tell as much. But just trying to avoid stripiness. I probably stitched these petals like 4 different times, just trying to figure out my combination of stitch path and if I wanted 1 strand or 2 strands. But I am happy with how it's coming out, and I've moved down to this second flower. I've got that bird completely done and the first flower completely done as well. So really happy with this, and hopefully I'll make some more progress on this in April as well. So that is it for stitching for March, but I do have quite a bit of haul and plans to tell you about. So I have some Facebook D-Stash haul and then some Nashville haul as well. So I will do D-Stash first because it's on top. So those are Nashville. I have been going a little crazy on Facebook D-Stash. Hopefully I have another pattern arriving today. But I saw some really good deals on there. So I have 3 new charts to show you. First up, of course, is a blackbird. This is Tulip and Lily from the Garden Club series. I saw this for a good price and was like, yep, take it. So that is a super cute spring pattern. I don't know if I'll start it this year, but I'm excited to have this in the collection. Then, since I was buying 1 chart, I was like, I guess I'll look at what else they have. And I got Puntini Cat Lovers, and it comes with the 2 buttons and a pin. Look how cute. And I thought that would be so cute for our entryway because obviously we love cats. So, not the best photo, but it's cutie. And I think that'll look cute on any color fabric too. Like, it's not super important that it's on blue fabric. And then the last thing I got I thought would be fun as like a little fall decoration, and this is an old chart called Apple Sampler. Looks like it's designs by Charlotte, but then it's also got the Just Cross Stitch trademark on here. So I'm not sure how this fits into Just Cross Stitch or if it's the same Just Cross Stitch as the magazine, but this is, let me try and get out of the plastic. This is the chart. It's just an old leaflet, and it just says apple pie, apple cobbler, applesauce, apple dumplings, apple a day. I just thought that was so cute. We love to make applesauce and apple crisp and whatnot, so I thought that would be a cute little fall decoration. So got this in stash. Maybe I'll start it at the end of the year. Looks like it is from 1995. So that was cute. I think it was only like $1 or $2. So I was like, yeah, throw that in there. And that's it for D-Stash haul for now. I'll probably have more next month. But I'll leave that there. I won't say anything else too much about it right now. As far as Nashville haul, I did get a few things. So I did 2 orders from Nashville. So first, of course, was Coneflower Chorus, which I already showed you. And then my second order was for 3 more charts. These ones are not going to be available as PDFs, as far as I know. The first is Rachel Moxham from Old Willow Stitchery. This is a Quaker sampler. I might have talked about this in one of my February floss tubes because this is the same called for fabric as the 3 pink Kathy Barrick releases. So I'd really love to eventually get my hands on a yard of 40 count and just stitch all of these pieces on the same fabric. But I thought this was a beautiful Quaker sampler. I had such a good time stitching Love Gaines, my Modern Folk Embroidery Quaker sampler last year, that I've been kind of keeping my eyes out for my next Quaker. And I thought, why not this one? So I got this paper chart. That's the only one that I'm not sure if they eventually release as a PDF or not, but I figured I'd just get the paper chart. Then I of course got Needleworkers Tiny Town. I know this one has been super popular this year by Heart and Hand. I couldn't pass it up when I saw it. And oh my gosh, I didn't even know this. I'm just looking at the back of this chart for the first time, but a percentage of Tiny Town profits are donated to Habitat for Humanity of Greater Cincinnati. I didn't even know that. Well, now I don't feel bad at all. It's for charity. And then the last paper chart I got was the 2026 Prairie Schooler Santa. I haven't previously been a huge Prairie Schooler Santa person, but a couple weeks ago, months ago, I bought a lot of Prairie Schooler Santas on eBay. And then when I saw that one, I was like, well, I don't hate that one either. So I figured I would just start collecting the ones that I like and not like too, I don't know, like not too seriously collect them, just collect the ones that I think are cute. So I got this year's Santa. He's ice skating. Super cute. And then my other haul. So these next two are not technically Nashville releases, but they got released in the same time frame, and that is the new Blackbird book. If you've watched me before, I'm sure this is no surprise that I bought the new Blackbird book. It is absolutely stunning. It's called Remember Me, and it has 9 samplers in it, and you can stitch them together or separate. This is the like photo of them all together, and they are stunning. Right now, my favorite and the one that I think I'll start first is, I'll show you, is this one. I love this basket. I think that is so cute. So that's my current favorite from this book, but we'll see what happens. So again, that is the Remember Me book, new release from Blackbird. I immediately was like, Lori, please get this for me. So I just picked this up on Thursday at Stitch Night after it came in at the LNS. So love that. And then finally, I don't usually have this much haul, but I've just been going crazy. My last bit of haul kind of segues into plans. So Pink Wren is one of the new Jet X Stitch releases. It's currently only available as a paper chart, but it gets released this week as a PDF. And I went ahead and got the Roxy Floss Co. conversion for that, so that I'd be ready when the PDF comes out. As soon as they posted on Instagram that they had the conversion, I was like, okay, I'll buy it. So I immediately placed an order, and it got here so fast. I wasn't sure how it would go shipping from Canada. I don't think I have placed a purchase from them or placed an order with them previously, so I already wasn't sure what their turnaround time usually looks like. And obviously with, you know, shipping these days, you never really know what's gonna happen. So shipping was more expensive than I'd like to admit, but it got here in less than a week. So that was amazing. I'm super impressed. So I got the 40 count French hen, which is the called for fabric, I think. It's definitely more brown than I was expecting, but I'm excited for it. I'm not too worried about it. And I just got a fat 1/8 because I don't usually stitch on this kind of fabric, like this dark color. And I was trying to save some money. So Pink Wren will fit just barely on a fat 1/8, they said, so I just got that. And then I also got the floss pack, which I haven't even taken out of the plastic yet, but look how stunning. And this is just on their website as is. You don't have to add them all to cart separately. So that is stunning. I'm super excited to start this as soon as the PDF comes out. And since I was placing the order and I was like, I already have to spend so much on shipping, I might as well see if there's anything else I want to get. And I got a bunch of one-of-a-kind flosses. These were on sale on the website for $2 each, which for a hand-dyed floss I think is pretty good. So I'll take these out and just kind of show you. So they were 5 for $10, so $2 each. So I just kind of got an assortment and just kind of picked a bunch. So here's the first kind of grouping of them. Very, very pretty. I have no plans for these. I picked these based solely on vibes. Here's the next little set for you to see. And then the last set. So I just kind of was thinking through, what do I have in stash? What do I want more of? What looks fun? And just trying to pick out like random colors that eventually I'll use. The only thing I regret, if we're gonna regret something, is I picked out two blues and they look really similar. I mean, they're not the same, and I know that they're not the same, but I kind of wish I had gotten a different color instead of one of these, just to, you know, switch it up. But in the end, I'm very happy with it. All the colors are gorgeous, and I'm excited to start throwing them into my color conversions. So, we talked about haul, we talked about one of my plans, which is pink wren. My other plan is to continue on with my Year of Blackbirds. The April start is from the Sewing Club book. Oh my gosh, I literally just had the page. And it is called Songbird Whistles. So this is the Sewing Club book. And this is the first chart that I'm doing. It's this little drum. So you can see there's like half the drum. And there's another photo that kind of shows the other half of the drum. And so that's my April start, and then I'll stitch the companion piece in May. I did get started on this. It's looking good, I think, so far. Not going to show you my progress just yet, but I will show you my floss. So I'm using some color and cottons from a different Blackbird conversion that I did a couple of years ago, and just kind of making them work. I think I'm short one color, so I'm just kind of, right now I think I'm going to combine colors, but there's a chance I go in and add another color to this palette. We'll see how the project comes out as I work on it, but that is my plan for my Blackbird. So I've got pink wren, gathering, what did I just say? Whistle, thistle, whistle, something. I don't know. That drum. And the Bride and Baldaquin Birdies, since I have monthly stitch goals for that. And that is as much as my plans are for April. The rest of it is just vibes, see what I want to work on. I'm definitely in the full swing of spring stitching. I want to work on all the flowers, all the birds, all the fun colors. So I'm excited to see what I get up to, which of these projects I'll keep out, if I'll start any other Blackbirds. I was going through the Sewing Club book, and there's so many cute designs in there. One of the ones that caught my eye was Ripe Pear, a little scissor box. So that might have to get started. Like, just look how sweet that is. So we'll see. We'll see what I get up to. And of course, you'll see at the end of April what I get up to. I'm trying not to be too ambitious with plans because I disturbed Sybil. She's taking a nap over here. I have a case study, like final project due. Technically, it's not due to the end of the semester, which is like the first weekend of May, but I have my final like master's presentation in 2 weeks on the 17th, and I'm trying to have my final project done like that day or that weekend so that once I'm done, I don't have to stress about it. So I'm really trying to not spend all my time cross-stitching and really focus and get those couple of things done so that I can, you know, do good work and finish strong. It's been hard. My class for my final project ended at the beginning of, or like mid-March, and if I was really on top of it, the final project for the class would already be done, but my professor was like, take the whole semester. And I said, yes, sir, I will be doing that. So trying to buckle down this weekend, definitely yesterday, today, I guess. I guess when I'm done filming this, I will go do homework on it. But anyway, so that is the biggest plan for the month, is just try to finish my schoolwork for grad school. And then I will get to all of this fun stitching stuff. But yeah, I have one other craft I want to show you guys before I leave you, and that is needlepoint. So I know a lot of Flosstubers have been starting to get into needlepoint. I feel like I've heard several people recently say that they are starting to explore needlepoint, and I hate to be a girl who's just jumping on the bandwagon, but I am also one of those people. But let me tell you about this project. I only have one needlepoint project. I don't anticipate having any other needlepoint projects. I don't remember if I've ever talked about this on this channel, but a couple years ago when I first moved to Lexington, I was going to our creative reuse store a lot. And at that time I also had another like, oh, maybe I'll try needlepoint, see what it's about, see if I like it. And because they get a lot of canvases that people donate there, and you can get them pretty cheap, way cheaper than you can get them new. And so one night I was there and I found a huge canvas that was a like card tablecloth. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just get this. Like, this is what I'll use to try needlepoint. So I'll put up a picture of this gimungo canvas that I got. It's bigger than I am. It was, I don't even know how old it is. It had the original tag on it for $550. I can only imagine how much it would be these days, probably over like $2,000, $2,500. I don't know, but I paid $10 for it. So I was like, I can't pass up the opportunity to take this home. Eventually I'll work on it. 2-ish years have gone by, almost 3 years probably, and I had yet to work on it. And so talking with the ladies at Stitch Night every week and being at the LNS every week, I was like, okay, maybe I'm ready to put some stitches on it. It was definitely an intimidating project because I knew like regardless of what a good deal I got on the canvas, it's going to be expensive to just get all the thread for this because it's like 4 feet by 4 feet or something. Yeah, I think 4 feet by 4 feet. So I was pretty intimidated to start, but a couple weeks ago I brought it to Stitch Night for show and tell, and I laid it out on the floor. I picked all my colors. I'm going to be using DMC Pearl Cotton number 3. Both because it's the most affordable option and because I don't have to stress about big dye lot changes. I don't want to have to like buy all the thread for this at once because obviously that's super expensive too. So I'm just buying it in bits and pieces, and I also wanted to make sure that I was picking out all the colors at once, like my color palette, so that like I don't know, because like once it was stitched I wasn't going to want to like rip it out if I was picking one color at a time. So I just wanted to make sure I had my whole color palette picked out, and then I can go and buy, you know, a few threads at a time to work through. So all that to say, I have finished 4 skeins. I have put in 6 colors so far, and I want to show you guys the progress. So like I said, I'll put up that picture of me holding the whole thing because I can't get the whole thing on camera, at least not easily, but I ended up starting in the top right corner with the pinks, and I've done pink and green so far. So I don't know how to hold this up. You know what? I'm actually going to put it on the floor and then flip the camera around and show you guys that way because I think that'll be the easiest way to show you. But I've done pink and green so far, and I've just been working my way down the right side of the canvas. So it is looking incredible. Oh, there we go. I guess that works. I've done this whole flower and the leaves around it. And then I've just been working my way down the canvas. So let me show you on the back so you can kind of see, because it's not painted on the back, so you can see like where the stitching is. So I've done all of that and just kind of working my way down. I carried the pink all the way down the side, but I got bored with pink, so then I had to go in with green. This has been fun. I don't know that I love needlepoint, right? Like cross stitch is I still prefer cross stitch, but it is kind of fun to have something else to work on, to switch it up. And it's fun to be able to say like, yes, I can needlepoint. I'm doing it pretty much just all basket weave. I might do a decorative stitch in the background. I might sprinkle in a couple, like some French knots somewhere or something. But for the most part, I was talking with the ladies at Stitch Night and they were like, I'd probably just do all basket weave. So that's the current plan. I am tracking my time on this and my number of skeins so that at the end I can say, you know, how long it took me, because I think it's going to take, I originally thought it was going to take me like 10 years to finish, but it's actually going a lot quicker than I thought it would. So I've got it in my Notion, and just instead of putting the number of stitches that I'm stitching, I'm just putting the number of hours that I'm stitching on it and using my stopwatch and timer to count that. So far I have put in 21 hours of work. Like I said, I finished 4 skeins, and I've got 2 other skeins that I'm kind of like halfway through each one, for the other 2 colors of green, and then I will put in my next color. I was originally thinking I would do like all of one color, like on the whole thing, all of the next color, but I quickly realized that was boring and I didn't want to only stitch one color for, you know, 25 skeins. So then I was like, well, I'll just stitch like one color skein at a time and then I'll switch. But that was also boring. So then I'm like, right now I'm just kind of stitching in color families. So I have like all 3 green skeins going. I had all 3 pink skeins. There's like 2 blues, 2 yellows, what have you. So I'm just gonna kind of stitch it as I go. I don't want to have too many colors like open and going at once. But I definitely need at least 2 to kind of switch between so I don't get too bored. But overall, it's been really cool to learn something new and practice something new. I've just been stitching it in hand. Up at the top, when I'm like at the edge, the other thing the ladies at the store were like, how are you going to stitch that, right? Because a lot of people use stretcher bars for their needlepoint or like kind of roll it up, and this is dry mungo. So when I'm stitching on the edge, I'm able to just kind of scrunch up this extra fabric on the sides. But as I got down and I had like more fabric, like as I was stitching down the side, there's actually enough that I was able to just kind of prop it up on my arm and stitch two-handed, and the canvas is thick and heavy enough and there's enough of it that it can support itself as if I was like stitching in a stand. So that's been really cool, and I've been able to do some two-handed stitching, which makes it go by a little faster, I think. So yeah, that is my needlepoint journey. I hope you guys are somewhat interested. I'm going to share it as I work on it. I don't know how often, or you know, if I'll work on it for a couple weeks and then get sick of it for a year and a half, but I just thought I'd show you guys that, and I'm going to try to post some pictures on Instagram, kind of like keep my story up to date with what I'm doing on this. But I thought that would be a fun little thing to share, because it's definitely going to be a lifelong project. Or not lifelong, like I said, it's going faster than I thought, but it's going to be a long-term project, that's for sure. So, and I've just got it in a big canvas bag, and then I've got a smaller project bag with my threads in it. It's a 13 count mesh. I don't know what kind of needle I'm using. I just said, can someone give me a needle? I was like, I don't know. So someone gave me a needle and I'm just using it. So don't ask me anything about needlepoint, I don't know. But anyway, that is my new little hobby that I've been doing. Okay, I think that is everything I have to share. Like I said, lots of haul, lots of plans, lots of stitching, and lots of crafting. I've just been loving crafting lately. I guess I did work on one other project, but it's a secret stitch for a gift, so I'm not going to show it until my May, either my April or May wrap up, not sure which one. But eventually you'll see it, just not yet. So thank you all so much for watching, taking some time to hang out with me. Like I said earlier, please let me know if you were working on something. What were you working on? What are you doing today that's fun? And I will catch you guys next time.